You know that feeling when you wake up on a road trip and for a moment you forget where you are and then you hear it? For us in Fandar that morning, it was the soft, muffled rush of the river somewhere below the guest house. Not loud, not dramatic, just a steady shh, like the valley whispering, "Come down, but come gently."
Yeah, and the funny thing is, Fandar is famous for that big postcard lake, right? But that morning, we were both sitting on the edge of our beds, holding our chai, and I remember saying, "Yaar, before we chase any viewpoints, can we just meet this sound first?"
Exactly. The Jeep was almost packed, our bags were half zipped, jackets hanging on the chair, driver waiting somewhere near the main road. But instead of rushing up to the lake, we decided, no, today we start soft. One simple riverbank walk. 45 minutes? Maybe an hour if the chai is good.
And the best part is, this is not a hardcore track. This episode is for you if you have kids, if you're with parents or elders, or even if you're just tired from the long drive. We are basically designing the laziest, calmest, beginner-friendly morning in Fandar, and it still becomes your favorite memory.
So today, walk with us. We'll start right in that simple guest house room. Ask our host for the safest public path, slip down towards the Giza River, finding those stone benches under poplar trees, sip some chai, and then loop back up before the sun turns sharp. By the end, you'll know exactly how to copy this morning on your own trip.
And don't worry, we'll keep reminding you of two things. Stay well away from the fast water, and stay well away from people's private land. Calm morning, clean conscience.
All right, so picture this. It's a cool Fandar morning. The room is simple. Concrete floor, 2 beds, one small window with that pale mountain light trying to come in. You can smell parathas and chai drifting up from the kitchen. You stretch, you hear a distant rooster, and under all of that, the river is humming.
Our guest host knocked softly, slid in with breakfast. Omelet, paratha, and that essential metal kettle of chai. I remember he smiled and said, "Lake Dik Marayaj? You gonna see the lake today?"
And we surprised him. We said, "Ha, Lake P. But first, we just want a very easy walk down to the river. Nothing risky, no fishing, no boats, just sitting, listening." You could see his face relax a little. Hosts love when you're not trying to be a hero with the river.
Yeah, and this is your first big move. Before you get excited by any narrow path you see from the road, ask your host. Use very simple words. Safe public path, no private land. We will not go into the water. We just want to sit and look.
They know where the village kids go, where the elders sit, which stairs belong to everyone, and which field is someone's hard work. And it shows respect. Fandar may look wide and open, but if you step over someone's neatly planted potatoes to reach your Instagram spot, that's not the memory you want.
Our host pointed with his spoon, still holding the kettle in one hand. Road par jao 2 minute, phir right side pe ek kachi rasta hai. Small concrete steps going down. That's for everyone. Bas pani se dur rehna. Basically, walk 2 minutes on the main road, look for the rough path with steps, and stay away from the water.
So while our parathas were still hot, we did a quick little gear check. And you can do the same. First, footwear. You do not need trekking boots for this, but please, no slippery fancy sandals. Simple joggers or sturdy walking shoes are perfect because the gravel can roll under your feet.
Second, sun. Even if it feels cool, at this altitude, the light gets sharp fast. We grabbed caps, sunglasses, and one small bottle of sunscreen we kept throwing at each other the whole trip. If you have elders or kids with you, this matters even more. Shade down by the river is lovely, but the walk there and back is exposed.
Third thing we packed was what I call the tiny river kit. Nothing dramatic. One small thermos of chai or coffee, a couple of steel or reusable cups, some biscuits or nuts, tissues, and a small trash bag that folds into your pocket. That little bag is your superpower. You leave the spot cleaner than you found it.
And if you don't carry your own thermos, totally fine. There is usually a small dhaba or tea shop not too far from the guest houses along the road. Just be honest about time. Tell them, "Hum niche ja rahe hai. We'll be back in 45 minutes for chai." They'll smile, they'll be ready, and you're not rushing.
Okay, breakfast done, river kit ready. We lock the room, step out into that crisp mountain air, and start walking along the main road. Trucks are rare here, but still, stay on the side, especially with kids. After just a minute or two, you'll start seeing faint tracks heading down toward the green ribbon of the Giza River.
Now, this is where your eyes need to wake up a bit. Some paths will clearly cut through planted land. Little low walls, straight rows of potatoes or wheat, maybe a fence or a line of poplar branches on the ground. That's private. Smile, enjoy the view, and keep walking.
The public path our host showed us was different. You could see it had been used by many feet over time, a soft V shape pressed into the slope. There were a few rough concrete steps at the start. No gate, no crops, just open scrub and small stones. Think of it this way. If you feel like you're walking into someone's garden, you probably are.
As you start going down, slow your pace. Gravel on these slopes is that sneaky kind. It looks stable until your foot rolls a bit. We kept the youngest kid in our group between us, one adult slightly ahead, one slightly behind, and we asked the elders to take smaller, deliberate steps. No rushing. This is not a race, it's a landing.
And this brings us to our number one safety rule for this whole morning and any northern river. Nobody goes into the water. Not to wash shoes, not to dip toes, not even to just stand on that one tempting wet rock. The geyser is cold, strong, and it looks calmer than it is. This walk is for looking and listening, not swimming.
Yeah, and I say this as someone who loves water. If you have kids, repeat this like a mantra before you even see the river. We stay on dry, flat ground. We don't touch the water. Keep them within arm's reach on the descent so your hand is just there, without drama.
Halfway down that path, the sound of the river started to rise. From a background hush to something more textured. You could almost hear the difference between fast stretches and slower pools. The air cooled a little. We passed under the first tall poplars, their leaves making this soft, shaking sound in the breeze.
You'll know you're close when the ground starts to level out a bit. The slope eases, the path widens, and suddenly the world opens. There's the geyser, this long greenish-blue ribbon sliding by with patches of white where it hits stones. It's not a big roar like some rivers. It feels like a song that never bothers to end.
We took a moment there, still standing, just to read the space. That's another habit I recommend. Before you rush to sit or unpack snacks, pause and ask yourself, where's the water fastest? Where's the ground most flat? Where would a local elder choose to sit? That question alone can keep you safe.
Our spot almost chose us. On the right, a small cluster of stone benches someone had put together. Nothing fancy, just flat rocks arranged in a square shape under the curve of two poplars. The river was visible, you could hear it clearly, but there was at least 5-6 meters of flat, dry stones between us and the nearest fast current.
That distance is important. Look for a place where, if someone trips, they don't immediately roll towards the river. We checked the ground. No sudden drops, no slippery wet patches, no narrow ledges. Just a gentle, stony beach.
And the shade, those poplars were perfect. Enough leaves to break the sun, but still open so you felt part of the valley, not hidden in a cave. We laid down our small bag, tapped the benches to see which one felt stable, and everyone picked a rock that spoke to them. Simple joys.
Then came my favorite part of the whole morning. We made a little rule for ourselves. 1 full, quiet minute with no phones, no cameras, no talking. Just listening to the geyser. It felt a bit funny at first. We all smiled awkwardly, shifted around, but then something softened.
Yeah. In that 1 minute, you start hearing the layers. The main rush of the current, a small separate gurgle where water slips around a bigger stone, the occasional slap of a faraway fishing line hitting the surface, even a crow complaining in the background because, well, crows complain everywhere.
The color of the river that day was this deep green with silvery lines wherever the light touched it. Tiny ripples caught reflections of clouds moving across the sky, breaking them into 100 little pieces. I remember thinking, the famous lake is beautiful, but this, right here, might be the moment I remember on the drive home.
And phones, look, we all love taking photos. Take a couple, of course, but I really suggest you keep the camera short and the sitting long. Maybe even set a tiny challenge. No phone for the first 15 minutes. Trust me, you won't miss the screen. You'll miss this sound later.
After that quiet minute, we did what Pakistanis do best. We reached for chai.
We had filled a small thermos at the guest house, so we poured into 2 metal cups, the steam rising in the cool air, that classic mix of river scent and cardamom. If you don't bring your own, this is where you can send one person back up to the dhaba to order.
Just be realistic with time. A round trip to the road, ordering chai, and coming back down might take 15 to 20 minutes, depending on where you're staying. So if you're tight on schedule for Shandur or Gilgit, I'd say either carry your thermos or decide in advance. River now, dhaba later.
Food-wise, keep it simple. Dry snacks like biscuits, roasted chickpeas, nuts, or a piece of fruit are perfect. Avoid oily stuff that will attract animals or leave stains on rocks. And every wrapper, every tissue, every little thing goes straight into that tiny trash bag you brought. The river doesn't need your plastic to remember you were there.
Washrooms are the one thing you should plan for. Most public riverbanks like this won't have any facilities, so use the bathroom at your guest house or dhaba before you start the walk. It keeps the riverbanks clean and you way more relaxed.
We ended up sitting there for a little over half an hour. Some of us closed our eyes, some skipped small dry stones a safe distance from the water's edge. Again, no feet in water. And one of us just quietly stared at a single leaf floating by, riding these tiny currents all the way down the valley.
When our cups were empty and the sun had climbed a bit higher, we did a quick check. Time, still okay. Sun, getting stronger. Energy levels, everyone looked happy, not tired. That's the sweet spot when you decide to loop back. Don't wait till the kids are whining and the elders are squinting at the light.
On the way up, we tried a slightly different route. There was another path that curved a little closer to the poplar line, still clearly public, still avoiding any planted fields. Taking a gentle loop, instead of just retracing your steps, makes the whole walk feel like a tiny journey instead of a back-and-forth chore.
But the same rules apply on the way back. Stay together, keep kids and elders in the middle of the group, watch your footing on gravel. If you're short on breath, pause in the shade. You're already on holiday. No one is timing you like a race.
We reached the road almost exactly 45 minutes after we had left the room. No one was sweaty, no one was stressed, and we still had the whole day ahead. In our case, a drive toward Shandur. The driver laughed when we told him we hadn't gone to the big lake yet. Pehle nadi, phir lake? He asked. First river, then lake.
And honestly, by then we felt like we'd already seen Fadar in a deeper way. The lake is the photo, sure, but that quiet morning under poplars, the sound of the geyser, stone bench under you, cup in your hands, that's the memory that stays when you're back home in a noisy city.
So let's wrap this up into a simple little formula you can copy on your own trip. I like to call it the Findar River Morning Plan.
Step 1. After breakfast, ask your host for a clearly public, safe access path down to the Giza River. Use simple language and promise you'll stay out of the water and off private land.
Step 2. Pack light but smart. Good walking shoes, sun protection, a tiny river kit with chai or water, simple snacks, tissues, and a small trash bag.
Step 3. On the descent, move slowly, keep kids and elders close, and treat the whole walk like a viewing experience. Repeat the rule in your head. Stay on dry, flat ground, and no one enters the river.
Step 4. Choose a spot that locals seem to use. Stone benches, smooth rocks under poplar shade, with a generous distance between you and any fast water. Sit, take one quiet minute with no phone, just listening.
Step 5. Enjoy simple chai and snacks. Carry every bit of your trash back, and plan your time so you return to the road relaxed, not rushed. If there's a gentle alternative route up that's still public, take it for a tiny change of scenery.
If you'd like to actually use this on your next trip, we've put together a small printable mini plan for this exact kind of river walk in Fandar, plus a few extra tips you can reuse anywhere in Geyser Valley.
You'll find timing suggestions, a tiny packing checklist, and some simple river safety reminders you can even show to your family or friends before you leave. Just head over to our website and look for the Fandar River Morning Guide on the Travel Diary page.
However you design your day, I hope you give yourself at least one soft morning like this. Stone bench under you, poplars above, and the geyser sliding by, doing its ancient thing. The lake can wait a little. The calm is right below the road.